Emma Harper woke up to the golden morning light streaming through her bedroom window, feeling a strange mix of excitement and curiosity. Her husband, Ryan, had been unusually secretive all week, whispering on the phone and smiling to himself like he was hiding something big, and Emma couldn't help but wonder what he was planning. Over breakfast, Ryan poured coffee with his usual warmth but carried a glint in his eyes that made Emma suspicious. "Pack your bags," he said casually, trying to sound effortless. "We're going on a weekend getaway, just you and me." Emma's heart leapt at the thought of a private romantic escape, picturing quiet walks, candlelit dinners, and laughter shared only between the two of them. Yet as they drove toward the airport, Ryan kept glancing at his phone and acting strangely, which only deepened her curiosity. When they arrived, he handed her 2 tickets, and her excitement wavered when she saw the second one wasn't her own name but someone else's. Confused, she asked, "Who is this?" Ryan hesitated, his smile faltering slightly, before admitting that a few friends had decided to join them, promising it would be fun. Emma tried to mask her disappointment with a polite smile, feeling her private fantasy of intimacy slipping away, replaced by the prospect of a crowded, social vacation. Boarding the plane, she clutched her ticket nervously, glancing at Ryan and wondering if the trip would bring them closer or create distance she wasn't ready for. As the engines roared to life, a swirl of anticipation and uncertainty filled her chest. She was caught between excitement for the surprise and longing for the romantic time she had imagined, not yet knowing that this unexpected twist could change the course of their relationship in ways she never anticipated. The resort was more beautiful than Emma had imagined, with soft white sands stretching along a sparkling coastline and palm trees swaying gently in the breeze. Yet as Ryan introduced her to the friends who had joined, Mark, his old college buddy, Sophie, Mark's fiancée, and Daniel, Ryan's colleague, Emma felt a subtle pang of unease. They were friendly and welcoming, laughing easily, sharing stories, but every cheerful moment reminded her that this was not the private getaway she had pictured, and while she smiled and participated, a quiet tension grew inside her, a longing for the intimate connection she had imagined with Ryan alone. That evening, as the group gathered for cocktails by the pool, Emma wandered toward the beach, letting the sand sift between her toes and listening to the soft crash of the waves, thinking about how the dynamics of the trip had shifted overnight. And Ryan soon found her there, coming up behind her with his familiar, comforting presence. He took her hand gently, apologizing softly for the surprise, explaining that he wanted it to be fun and light-hearted but realizing that it might have overshadowed the moments they could share together. Emma tried to hide her disappointment, though the longing in her chest was real. She wanted laughter, warmth, and closeness with him without the distraction of others, and as they walked along the moonlit shoreline together, she felt the familiar spark of love reignite, a mix of relief and hope settling in her heart. Ryan whispered promises of quiet moments ahead, of dinners just for the two of them and walks beneath the stars, and Emma clung to the vision of what could still be, feeling that even though the trip had started differently than she expected, there was still a chance to reclaim the intimacy and romance she craved. As the night grew darker and the sound of the waves mingled with their shared silence, Emma realized that love sometimes needed patience and small gestures to thrive, and despite the lingering tension, a sense of connection began to bloom between them, hinting that the days ahead could be filled with moments of quiet joy, tender conversation, and shared laughter if Ryan made room for them, leaving Emma both anxious and excited for what the rest of the trip might bring. The next morning, the group decided on a hiking trail that promised breathtaking views, and Emma tried to immerse herself in the adventure, laughing at jokes, taking photos, and enjoying the crisp mountain air, but beneath the surface, her mind kept drifting to Ryan, noticing how he seemed distracted, checking his phone and chatting with friends more than usual, and a quiet tension grew between them as she longed for moments of connection that felt increasingly elusive. During a break on a sunlit cliff overlooking the valley, Emma sat on a rock, feeling both frustrated and wistful, craving the closeness she had imagined for their getaway, and Ryan came to her side, handing her a water bottle with an apologetic smile, his eyes reflecting genuine concern and regret. "Emma," he said softly, "I wanted this trip to be perfect for us, but I see now that I might have overcomplicated it by inviting everyone." Her chest tightened, emotions swirling between disappointment and relief, and she finally spoke the truth she had held inside, telling him she missed them, just them, the quiet intimacy of walks, shared laughter, and conversations without interruptions. Ryan's hands found hers, squeezing gently, and in that moment, Emma felt a wave of reassurance and love. He admitted he had misjudged the surprise, never intending to make her feel invisible, and promised to make room for the connection she needed, showing vulnerability she hadn't expected. As they sat together in the warm sunlight, sharing their feelings honestly, Emma realized that the tension had not broken them, it had uncovered the depth of their bond, the importance of communication, and the necessity of intentional moments of closeness. Slowly, the hiking trail no longer felt crowded or overwhelming. Each step they took together reminded Emma that love was not about perfect plans or private fantasies alone, but about navigating surprises, misunderstandings, and shared experiences hand in hand. And as Ryan brushed a strand of hair from her face and smiled, she felt a renewed sense of hope and anticipation, knowing that even amidst unexpected circumstances, their connection could grow stronger, that this trip could still become a turning point in their relationship, and that the quiet moments they carved out together could leave lasting memories far beyond the beauty of the landscape surrounding them. After the tension of the first few days, the final part of the trip shifted into a rhythm that felt natural and comforting, as Ryan made a conscious effort to spend time alone with Emma, waking early for walks along the quiet shoreline, stealing moments between group activities to hold her hand, whisper little jokes, and share stories that only belonged to them, while the friends, sensing the couple's need for space, gave them room without complaint. And this balance slowly melted the lingering frustration Emma had felt, replacing it with warmth, laughter, and a renewed sense of connection that reminded her why she had fallen in love with Ryan in the first place. Each evening, they dined quietly on the balcony, listening to the ocean waves, sharing dreams, and laughing softly over small, private jokes, and with every conversation, the love between them deepened, making the presence of the friends less intrusive and more like background music to their growing intimacy. On the last night, under a clear sky dotted with stars, Ryan held Emma close, murmuring that he had wanted to surprise her, not realizing how it might unsettle her, and that seeing her here, relaxed and smiling, was worth more than any plan or idea he had for the trip. And Emma rested her head on his chest, feeling the steady rhythm of his heartbeat, letting go of any lingering doubt, realizing that true romance was not in flawless plans but in honesty, attention, and the quiet reassurance of being truly seen and valued by the person you love most. As they stood there, wrapped in each other's arms, the waves whispering against the shore, Emma felt a profound gratitude for the twists and surprises of the vacation, understanding that while it had not started as she imagined, it had given her a deeper, more meaningful connection with Ryan, one strengthened by compromise, communication, and love that could adapt and flourish even in unexpected circumstances. And she knew that the memories of this trip, the laughter, the shared secrets, the stolen walks, the moments of vulnerability, would stay with her forever, a reminder that romance is not about perfection but about presence, care, and the courage to embrace both the planned and the unplanned together.